Hey, it's Chloe. The Trump administration has taken major steps in its inevitable goal of dismantling the Department of Education. Now, this cannot be done legally without an act of Congress since the department was created by an act of Congress. However, the administration is playing fast and loose with the law, as I've documented in story after story. And specifically what they're going to do, division of the administrative duties of the Department of Education to other departments. That means, like, for example, K through 12 programs, whether from elementary school, middle school, high school, and even into post-secondary education and higher education will be outsourced to the Department of Labor. This also includes HBCUs and minority serving institutions. So if you think anything from your child learning to read to going to college is about anything more than getting you ready for a job, you are in for a rude awakening. In addition, they will be moving childcare programs to the Department of Health and Human Services. They'll be moving Native American and tribal education, which I guess still goes by Indian education according to the government, to the Department of the Interior. And they will be moving international education and foreign language education specifically to the State Department, which we should know is currently going after people for speaking out of turn and saying the wrong thing to try to rescind their citizenship and their passport. So this is actually pretty wild news. The Department of Education has been in charge of these core programs for decades and decades and decades, and they are outsourcing the administrative duties to these individual departments. And now the administration said that these interagency actions have existed for some time, however, not to this degree and not literal core functions of the entire department being moved off to these departments which have no administrative experience in doing so. How they're playing fast and loose with the law is specifically that they're saying the funding and the hiring, the priority setting, and the budget will be still done by the education department, but the literal work itself will be contracted out to these departments. And they have the audacity to say that these moves, in the middle of a school year, mind you, fresh off the heels of the government shutdown, will make it easier, more efficient, and reduce red tape, which is patently absurd. Call a spade, because how is going to multiple different departments who have no experience or capacity for this and moving people around, which costs money, it costs time, it costs training, it costs all of these things in the middle of a school year to do all this, as opposed to keeping things under the Department of Education where things have been running this whole time and they have all the skill, the experience to work through the government bureaucracy to get these funds to people. For example, one of the things that's going to the Department of Labor, in addition to after school care, which has nothing to do with the Department of Labor, is specifically Title I funding. And Title I funding has been crucial in bringing Black and Latino students not just out of poverty, but specifically into better educational scores. They've had better scores in math too, help them graduate. It's really concerning. Linda McMahon, Education Secretary, says that the Education Department is merely a pass-through of funding. By that logic, congressionally mandated Department of Education and congressionally established Department of Education provide all the funds coming out of your paycheck for your child's education to be used by the Trump administration however the fuck they please and send the work wherever the fuck they want without involving Congress again. We'll have more later.